We're the first hideously deformed podcast of superhuman size and strength. It's Harmless Phosphorescence. Hello, everyone. This is Thoreau Smiley, and I'm here to make naughty children eat their lima beans. I am joined by...
I'm Josh Cece, and I like variety. Choices.
I'm Brian Lash, and you're all made of chemicals.
I'm Alaric Weber, and I'm a man of wealth and taste.
And this is Harmless Phosphorescence, the podcast where we watch every theatrically released full-length live-action superhero movie ever made. We gather some research into the production and the source material, and we tell you all about it. Hey guys, I just want to take 1 second to ask you all to head on over to iTunes, rate and review us. It is the best way to get us seen, and maybe we can get some more bonus episodes out there, do some cool stuff.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah. Leave us a review. Let us know whether you like us, hate us, anything in between.
We care.
We care a lot. This week, we are watching The Toxic Avenger Part 3, The Last Temptation of Toxie.
There was the theatrical smash hit, The Toxic Avenger. Then came the second theatrical smash hit, The Toxic Avenger Part 2. And now...
people of Tromaville, The Toxic Avenger's back!
The Toxic Avenger Part 3.
The Last Temptation of Toxie.
Fair enough!
Yes, the first superhero from New Jersey returns. He's looking better than ever. He's fighting better than ever. He's just better than ever.
So this is your big, beautiful love machine.
He is hot. The Toxic Avenger Part 3. 3 times the action. 3 times the evil. 3 times the mind-boggling, eye-popping special effects.
The mind is a terrible thing to waste. And I am going to waste yours.
The Toxic Avenger is torn between his low-paying job as a superhero and the diabolical temptations of wealth.
$357,000.
Power. And owning a condominium.
Listen, I don't care if she's 80. If she doesn't have the rent at the end of the month, I want her out of there.
Will Toxie join the forces of evil? Will his blonde, blind, beautiful, buxom bimbo girlfriend regain her sight? Will the devil turn our favorite hideously deformed creature of superhuman size and strength back into a 98-pound nerd? Find out in The Toxic Avenger Part 3, starring Phoebe Legere, Ron Fazio, and John Altamura. He's mean, green, and back on the screen. The Toxic Avenger Part 3.
The Last Temptation of Toxie.
Don't touch that dial.
The Last Temptation of Toxie. Starring Willem Dafoe, directed by Martin Scorsese.
All right, so that came out in 1988. When did this come out?
Oh, this came out, this was released on November 24th, 1989.
Okay. Wow, so it was still fresh in people's minds.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They were capitalizing on that too.
On one of the most controversial films to that point. It didn't do well.
No, this had a budget of $500,000 and a box office of $363,561.
Wait, so Malfair lied.
This didn't even make as much. This made slightly more than it cost to bring Claire's sight back.
Wow. Hey,
Well, yeah, Brian's right. Didn't
Malfair said it was
$1
$2 million.
Oh, 2 million.
Oh, liar.
Yeah.
And that was her justifying the shoddiness of whatever was going on in that scene.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
So it was even less.
well, okay.
How much was spent on part 2?
That 500,000 is what it's.
Oh, that's
So
for,
they
like,
probably had
both
$1
of them,
million.
$500,000
No, that's for just part 2.
Oh,
Okay,
but
and
they
part
shot
3
everything in.
was
Oh no, part 3. I'm sorry, that is for part 3. Yes.
okay. So I don't know. Depending on how much was spent on both combined, she's still a liar. She's
Well,
gotta
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
But still, great joke. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she loves breaking down walls.
She does. The film was made along with the Toxic Avenger Part 2. As we discussed previously, Lloyd Kaufman made a 4-hour cut, which resulted in both Part 2 and this film. Mark Torgel was asked to come back as Melvin for the final level of Doom sequence, but due to, quote, pay issues, ultimately declined to return and was replaced by Michael J. Kaplan.
Ultimately, it was supposed to be one epic. 4 hours. I'm sure he knew he wasn't going to be able to put 4 hours on the screen. But imagine if it had been one story, like
how
all
does this all
that
fit
fun
together?
Japanese stuff, and then he's back fighting the devil.
Well, and things in this blatantly like disregard or contradict things from the second movie.
Yeah. While they were making
Well,
it.
also scenes in this blatantly disregard and contradict scenes in the same movie that happened immediately before them. So I guess that's fine.
Nobody was paying attention to continuity.
Not even close. Torgel, however, does return to the role in Citizen Toxie, The Toxic Avenger 4.
Great.
We're not doing that one, are we?
Oh yeah, coming in 2000.
In the year 2000.
Oh, I can't wait.
There were no professional reviews of this from the time. None. At least not on the internet.
And that will continue.
I hope it was a concerted effort. I hope critics were like, no,
We refuse.
we are not going to encourage this shit anymore.
You're like, Lloyd, you have to stop.
You have other ideas.
Kabuki Man ideas. Which, when we get to that, I was reading some of the background. Ooh. So, that's it. We have nothing to talk about.
I saw Fazio was back. We were talking about him last time, that he was dressed in the Native American deal. Wasn't that him? He wanted his family to see him on screen.
Oh,
I don't think it was the guy with the Native American get up.
Okay.
But Fazio was
Maybe he was the ex-NFL player. Okay.
No. In the first one, he was the guy who had like the tiger stripes on his face.
Right.
Who was leading around Dogface right at the beginning.
Okay, so he's probably leading Dogface.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, and I mean,
And he's Toxie.
Yeah.
Most of it. And then the other guy, I forget his name now. He
Trogdor.
I didn't even write
the guy who was fired during filming it. His footage remains. In this this film.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, there's entire scenes that are just the exact same entire
Yes.
scene from
Yeah.
the
Yes,
second
exact one. Yeah.
So anyways, you guys want to just jump into this? We've got no backstory to get into at all.
Yep.
We gotta go.
Here we are. This is The Toxic Avenger Part 3, The Last Temptation of Toxie. So after a recap of the first two movies,
Yeah. Batman style.
Yeah.
Like, let's see that origin again.
we visit the Tromaville video store where a band of Apocalypse Inc. goons decide to hold everyone hostage.
No, but it's such a great vibe. Okay.
No,
just,
it's
just like the health club scene in the first one. I'm trying to think of the second one. Oh, at the school of the blind. Yeah.
Yeah.
But everyone's having a great time in the video store. You know what I mean? It's,
Oh yeah, the guy with his ladies.
yeah, and he's like, I can't decide. I can't decide.
The girl in the bikini dancing
Right.
while looking at the back of a VHS tape.
Just dancing. She's so
Came to the store to dance in a
Right.
bikini.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Watch
like
these
that, like,
selects movies.
Ooh, Tom Hanks and Big.
Well, yeah, and they like the variety.
Yes, they do.
They're really happy with
That is
the
big for them.
independent. movie rental place in their town.
I tried to catch movies in the background. There were a few that I saw. And then I saw a poster for Can't Buy Me Love.
Oh, yeah.
Filmed here in Tucson.
Yeah.
Interesting.
A friend of ours is in it.
So this is a Jewish run.
Patrick Dempsey.
Aaron O'Flaherty.
This is a Jewish run video store.
Yes.
And
Yeah, is it?
Very Jewish run video store.
I think one of them might be a rabbi. But
They call him rabbi later on.
Yeah, they call him rabbi.
Yeah.
But the first spoken line in the store, he's like, Einstein. But Einstein, you don't put redneck zombies in with the Walt Disney. And I checked it out. Redneck Zombies is a real movie.
Is it a trauma?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a trauma.
Is it? Yeah. 'Cause I saw Surf Nazis Must Die. It was
And it was directed by Pericles Lunis.
Pericles Lunis?
Yeah. Who's all over this film. He's in the first scene. He's the painted face villain.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. The like Two-Face looking guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. I'm
He
pretty
turns
sure.
his profile.
That's Pericles. And he did a lot of the special effects and production stuff and has some writing credit on this.
Pericles.
Yeah.
I hope that's his good. I hope that's his name.
His Christian name.
He plays a good maniac. He's fun.
He directed Redneck Zombies. And then immediately after that, they reuse from the first movie the gruesome mother-in-law joke
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh.
from the first Toxic Avenger. There's a lot of repurposing in this movie.
A lot. This movie is like
There is
20% new footage.
Way too much.
Okay,
We got
so
another band of goons.
yeah, a band of apocalypse and goons decide to hold everyone hostage and demand that the people inside the store begin watching their films.
And they pull up in the black sedan with the teeth on the grill.
Yes,
That was cool.
Yeah.
And they say
I
they're
like
going to
that
be,
grill.
you can only, they're like MGM, Paramount.
Oh, yeah, they
Yeah, that
introduced
was funny.
themselves.
They introduced
Yeah,
themselves.
as like the 5 big houses of like film.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like Trauma's like commentary. on,
Right.
like, put us in your
totally.
video
On
store.
the big bullies.
yeah.
There's a lot. So there's a lot of This movie is crazily woke, like crazy woke.
Yeah. It was interesting.
They say that
20 videos.
they're only going to have 20 movies to choose from. And then the woman says, "We like variety.
We like
tagline.
choices, yeah.
We like trauma movies." And then the other guy's just like, "Screw trauma movies." And then
The Toxic Avenger.
then the painted guy.
Oh, okay.
He says, "There's lots of variety." Wait, there it is. There's plenty of variety here. MGM, Columbia, and Paramount, and we're the Warner Brothers. Tear it up, and they start shooting people,
And I'm Dot.
or just
Well, they
The Warner sister.
They shoot the girl
they
with the
shoot-
shotgun, and then they just
they
shoot the tapes.
shoot the variety
Yeah.
girl, and then
Yeah.
they start shooting the tapes.
shooting the
yeah.
tapes.
They
So
just
one
shoot the
murder and
tapes.
then shoot the tapes.
for like 2 minutes. I
Yeah.
don't understand the shooting of the tapes.
There was a lot of shooting of the tape.
And they make it seem like it, Apocalypse Incorporated, but like, does every morning 9 a.m. they all get sort of their orders for that day? Like
Go
you
shoot
four
up the
going,
video store.
I just like, yeah.
We should be putting only these 4. Like, and why is Apocalypse Incorporated? Like, are they sponsored by these?
Well,
film-
and
like-
how exactly are they
They
making?
make the ones they want you to watch.
Yeah.
There was the workout video, they said, the Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
that's
were
true.
the top 5 were Apocalypse Inc. Motivational.
All right, that's it.
Videos.
Motivational
Oh, yeah,
videos.
that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. We'll get to why. That's,
Oh yeah,
that's right.
we'll get to why. The Toxic Avenger arrives, posing at first as a life-size cardboard cutout of himself. Toxie is able to kill all the goons in various gruesome fashions, including disembowelment, smashing one goon's face into a video eraser and sticking another one's arm through a VCR, destroying it in the process before decapitating.
Did anyone
him.
else ever used to get nervous with those front loading?
Oh yeah.
Like I knew that wasn't going to happen to me, but yeah, I was worried it was going to grab my fingers. Yeah.
I liked how the
Top loading.
the bulk video eraser was properly labeled, Batman style, just a big red sign that said bulk video tape eraser.
Yes.
Big
And
ass
the big,
magnet.
the big burly dude with the rainbow suspenders. He had pigtails, and his pigtails were being held together by Dixie cups, little paper Dixie cups that they pop the bottoms out of. That's what was yeah.
Far out.
Hey,
And the big sausage that Toxie pulls out his intestine. You know,
Oh, yeah.
does jumping jack.
Plays with it for way too long.
Way
It was
too
a
long.
it was a big salami.
Hey, I don't think we got a transvestite this time.
Oh, I think you're right.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy I was just talking about was pretty in his own way.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, they were all pretty in their own way.
Right. Just
So
We're all God's children.
he had a poet's soul.
something,
I could tell.
declaring he is back, Melvin begins narrating. He tells the story of how he came to be a bad dude and work for Apocalypse Inc.
Yeah.
Flashback to a couple months ago.
Yes.
Wait, so this whole movie is a fucking flashback?
Yeah, it's like Tarantino style.
I totally forgot it was.
You find it
So
the
this
ending.
is
is at
Melvin
the
telling the story.
Yes. It all began with his saving Tromaville from the Dark Rider. Things have become peaceful again in Tromaville, putting Melvin into depression again.
Because he has nothing to do.
Yeah, as he enjoys fighting crime, but now he can't even do that.
He has to prevent old ladies from cheating at cards.
Failing at normal jobs from being an audio mechanic and a babysitter, Melvin is depressed. One day, he returns home and gets a letter telling him that Claire, his blind girlfriend, may be able to see again thanks to a new groundbreaking surgery. They are elated.
It's addressed, dear blind person.
Yes, it is. That is until Melvin tells Claire that it will cost $357,000 to get the surgery. Melvin promises her he'll get a job to pay for it.
And she's still always in the middle of an earthquake.
Yeah.
Just so uneasy.
This woman is stressful to watch.
And it wasn't just convenient camera placing. This woman's crotch.
Features heavily.
This woman's labia,
It's the
was
third-
one of the characters.
It's the third lead.
I hope she got paid extra for that because that was a weird thing.
Yeah.
There was a lot.
A lot of shot setups.
A lot of spread eagle.
Yeah.
A lot.
And she seemed real comfortable with it.
And
like real comfortable.
writhing spread eagle, not just laying
Right.
there.
Like, I don't think they had to talk her into this.
No.
She was like, no, it's for the art. I
Yeah,
get
this
it.
like
didn't seem like unwilling.
Purring and
writhing.
cooing the whole time.
Yeah.
Constantly flailing and purring and writhing
Yeah.
about.
So she's actually pretty upbeat about not being able to get the surgery.
She's
She's okay with it. She says like, I'll never have to see ugliness or war or poverty or pollution or the Chevrolet Nova.
Well,
the
and
Chevy Nova.
when do we find out then that she was not born blind?
Right.
Oh, yeah,
She
he
was
was
blind as an adult.
blinded.
As an adult? Yeah.
She was
In a
a
freak accident?
She was a brilliant dental hygienist, and there was a tragic mouthwash accident.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, as an
That
adult. So she's only
blinded
been
her.
blind
Yeah.
for a little while.
Yeah, for
Yes.
like maybe 5-6 years.
You can't tell later on when she's rediscovering the world.
Right, and ask me what Tide is. Oh,
This is what rose. These are roses.
Did Tide pay for product placement?
I don't know,
Everything's a tie dye.
Yeah, that's curious.
but that was really cute. Just like it's so beautiful.
Toxie tries to become an IRS agent, but it doesn't work out.
The Taxic Avenger.
the taxic.
He
Avenger,
looks so
yeah.
weird in a suit.
Yeah.
And they keep doing it throughout this whole movie.
Putting him in clothes
Yeah,
in
like-
general
Yeah.
is weird.
He's not meant.
But does he still have that shirt like burned to him?
Yeah, it's constantly.
It's like part of
Yeah.
it.
Well, I
Like,
forget
he
he's
doesn't wear it,
constantly
comes
wearing a
off.
tutu because it's so
Right.
ragged and
Yeah.
small.
Like that's what I mean. Like is all that's probably just melted to his body, I guess.
I suppose, yeah.
I forgot
So
that
he's
we
wearing
got to
that
see him
under the suit.
windsurf again. That
yeah,
was cool.
that's true.
Oh, yeah,
that was
yeah.
great. I love windsurfing in this movie. It's like
I like when superheroes windsurf as a mode of
There-
getting
there
around.
really wasn't enough
It's like taking a hot
windsurfing
air
in this
balloon. Little Lex. Yeah, this will get us where we're going. Hopefully,
It will.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
with the help of my friend, the wind.
He and Claire go to church where she sings,
Wow,
and they hear a sermon about
like-
temptation.
her voice isn't bad, but yeah, that Amazing Grace. Whew.
Ooh,
It
boy.
was weird because her her mouth was saying "Amazing Grace" and the song was "Amazing Grace,"
but her boobs were saying
the voice,
"Come all ye faithful."
the ADR that they used, it sounded like "Amazing Breasts."
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it was weird. I rewound it a couple of times, just like "Amazing Breasts."
Yeah. Well, it's hard to pay for the licensing rights to
Amazing Grace.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's in the public domain.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I don't know. Imagine just popping up one day and being like, I wrote Amazing Grace. Trying to collect on the royalties.
And a bunch of this is just rehashed footage from church
before.
Oh yeah, totally. Well, they did pay for a song later on that they featured pretty heavily.
Two
Yeah.
of them, I noticed.
Yeah.
Fucking Brenton Wood tune. That's crazy.
Right, Brentwood and Janis Joplin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That wasn't Brenton Wood's version.
No, it wasn't.
no.
But it was Janis Joplin.
Yeah. I don't think either would be in the public domain.
Oh God, no.
way.
Gee, I can't remember. Oh, the woman that plays Claire in real life, we were looking it up. She had a stage show, several, but one was touted as erotic accordion. That was their show.
All accordion is
Right.
erotic.
I agree.
It just depends on how you play it.
Mama's got a squeeze box.
When you put it that way.
Toxie begins having nightmares in which his former wimpy self taunts him about his social prowess and inability to find a job.
This kid was terrible. I
He was so bad.
I really wish Mark Torgel had come back.
If only a master of the craft.
We flew by it, but the operation she wants for her eyes, there's a 50% chance of death.
It was tested on cave bats, and 50% of them lived.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cave bats.
Cave bats.
So the Little Melvin guy, what was his name? Michael something?
Michael J. Kaplan.
Okay. This was his only film.
I am shocked
Yeah.
and saddened.
It's like playing this role of Little Melvin,
Right.
of untransformed Melvin, just ruins a career, I guess.
I guess.
It was Mark Torgel's only role, and it was this kid's only role.
All right, the curse of Melvin. But yeah, it reminds us of Superman 3. He's like facing himself and arguing with himself, and
These dream sequences
Melvin
really
Toxie.
went on.
Yeah.
The first one not as much as the second, which we'll get to, but holy shit. We're reintroduced to Apocalypse Inc. in the exact same fucking scene from the previous movie.
Yeah.
They still want to kill Toxie.
And dump things
Yep.
in the Atlantic.
Radioactive grenades, cigar faces. They're the hard-boiled egg guy.
Yeah, it does the hard boiled. It's the same.
Yeah,
It's the same footage.
yeah,
It's the same
It's
footage.
the exact same thing. Yeah, for
And
like
this-
5 minutes.
This movie
Just-
was like 10 minutes longer than the previous movie, and it's like, why?
How?
With all this extra footage or all the same footage, and like, but it was like 20-minute dream sequences.
And more of him on the toilet for a long, long time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we'll get to
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Toxie is still very depressed. He tries to commit suicide unsuccessfully.
That was funny.
That was a cartoon bit.
What did he do again?
Oh, so there, he sees headlights coming down a tunnel, and it sounds like a truck by the horn
Right, the
blasting,
placement.
and he jumps in front of it, and it's just the two motorcycles that go around him.
That is literally a Looney Tunes joke. I love
That was
it.
a great,
Yeah.
Yeah.
visual bit.
He's lamenting his situation to Claire when he receives a letter. It's a job opportunity, and it would involve Melvin serving as a spokesman for none other than Apocalypse Inc.
And this was addressed, "Dear out of work superhero."
Yeah.
So,
They have to register.
okay, I just have a quick question. So he immediately goes to them. He's been fighting them
Right.
for quite a while.
Even in the beginning of this movie,
Yeah.
which was later on.
Does anybody remember Traumatones?
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Yes.
Traumatons.
No traumatons.
Yeah, he is compelled to murder evil people.
Yeah, by them.
Yeah.
It's like a compulsion. He can't
Right.
help it.
Yeah.
It's
No more of that.
yeah, it's like toxic midichlorians. We discussed this at length at one point.
Yeah. But in this case, it's just, well, my girlfriend needs the money. So it's like Dog Day Afternoon, actually.
Yeah, this is it was weird. He just turned off this thing that
They're,
happens.
they're
to
not
him.
mentioned once.
Well, I don't think Toxie
Yeah.
did. I think that Kaufman did.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, we don't need that anymore. He's going to be evil.
When they when he receives the letter before he opens it, he's just like, it's gonna be more bad news. You read it. And she puts it up to her forehead and does the great car singing thing. But there's like
Joe Pesci.
there's the
Tip O'Neill.
there's the sonar
hot
sound
dog.
as she's
right.
waving around. You hear the sound of sonar, from a submarine,
Like a bat.
which is funny. She's like, "You're gonna win the Nobel Prize, and you're gonna win, and you won the Tribune Rich and Famous sweepstakes."
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to make a Toxic Avenger TV show. Which
they did.
Would happen in 1991, 2 years later. Very prophetic. Claire Cini. The great Claire Cini.
Yes. Yeah. Toxic Avenger Saturday morning cartoon.
Kaufman had dreams.
He rode this movie to the bank.
Yeah, he did.
Jesus. Yeah.
Melvin visits Apocalypse Inc. headquarters and is offered money and popularity. But more importantly, he will be paid enough for Claire's surgery. After some doubts, he accepts, signing the contract in his own blood.
Dun, dun, dun.
At home, Melvin shares the good news with his mother.
And she thinks she's going to get a microwave.
She thinks she's going to make... This is the toilet scene,
Yes.
which goes on and on.
The explosive shits.
There was a lot.
He was on the bowl, is what he called
I'm
it.
on the bowl. I noticed when he stood up, his pants were up. Like he was shitting in his pants.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, and he also just stuffed toilet paper into the toilet.
Yeah.
He didn't wipe anything. He just stuffed this ball. And yeah, it was weird. It was weird to watch. I don't know why we were watching that.
I don't.
Why do you do this to us?
I know. This movie. It's so bad, and I'm still liked watching it better than episode 2. In the hospital, Melvin leaves Claire to have her surgery.
You already watched episode 2 and you were just rewatched it in this one.
He leaves her lying spread eagle on the hospital gurney
Yeah.
Yeah, spread eagle.
Totally spread eagle.
Okay, so
with a bedpan between her legs.
okay, yeah.
That's how that works. Just try to get it in.
So he leaves her with his mother, and then goes to the speech where his mother is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a busy lady. They established that in part 2.
And Mayor Cigar Face now
Yeah,
achieved
that's right.
the rank of mayor.
So he ran a successful campaign.
He had political aspirations.
Vote Cigar Face.
Even though everyone seems to hate him.
And he was dead.
Exactly.
He died in the first movie, you guys.
but he's
Are you
back.
tired of creeps like Cigar Face beating you up in alleys? Well, he'll take care of it. Paid for by the Cigar Face.
Oh.
Oh, that's great. So dumb. Every time I saw him, I was like, you're dead. You've been dead. How did you come back?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's trauma.
Yeah.
However, as Apocalypse Inc. comes in to heavily promote their chemicals, the people of Tromaville are shocked to see that their hero, the Toxic Avenger, is agreeing with the AI. The chairman makes a speech, and Toxie is blind to his evil.
Dioxin means dollars. Chemicals are cash. Melvin didn't notice that the crowd was hostile towards the chairman.
Yeah.
He did not notice.
News to him.
In his own words, I didn't notice that they were hostile.
I saved the entire town from them.
I wondered why they were beating up my friends.
Yeah. I spent an entire movie fighting them.
Right. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have kissed Superman.
So maybe the
Mind wipe.
the sumo ritual didn't really work, and his traumatons are on
Just messed up.
the fritz forever because
That's right.
because he took
sumo
the
ritual.
because he took the they had the traumaton destroying
Yeah,
chemicals.
the chemical there. Maybe it
Just
just
one of those red kryptonite crystal things.
I think he's all about stacks.
Yeah,
Making mad
stacks of
stacks.
fat cash.
Yeah.
Fat stacks
They
of
kind
fat
of
cash.
established that later. Yeah, but maybe it's just greed that's blinding him.
Well, again, this is so woke. Money is evil. Like, down with capitalism, down with corporate greed. Like,
hard-boiled eggs,
pro-environmentalist.
Down with white fingernails and hard-boiled eggs. That's what I'm saying.
A lot of messages coming from everywhere.
Oh,
poached or nothing. Toxie helps AI round up protesters.
Children are put to work.
Send children to Agent Orange work camps. Turn the future site for the blind into a waste dump and foreclose on residents' houses.
They point guns at kids in this movie. It makes me so fucking uncomfortable.
There's always a bunch of kids. If it's a Toxie movie, there's gonna be kids.
A ton of kids.
A lot of kids.
I think this is the only scene where they do it, but yeah, it was just like, why are you pointing guns at kids? God damn it!
We'll get it.
Yeah,
we'll
it was
get
very
to it later.
Gestapo-y. But
so Claire has her surgery.
Okay. Well, yeah. So back in the hospital, Claire has the bandages from her surgery removed. It
was so many bandages.
Well, yeah, no, but the bedpan comes back. That nurse,
which is so full.
Full.
Sloshing around.
Now she's on the gurney. This is the writhingest moment of the,
it really is.
Spread
flopping, writhing.
That's not how bedpans work. Too.
Giant Q-tip like head.
The nurse takes the bedpan away.
Her crotch just sliding everywhere.
Like, oh, God,
and the nurse just empties the bedpan on the flowers.
Yeah,
in the room
in a closed, and it flashes it against a closed window.
Yeah, so dumb. That was great though. It was hilarious when it happened.
And then she has sort of a. Do you guys remember the episode of Twilight Zone, Eye of the Beholder?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fun kind of thing. Like she sees the really handsome doctor, and that repulses her.
Yeah.
And then she sees Melvin.
Toxie and thinks he is beautiful.
Yeah.
Back at home, Claire and Toxie celebrate her newfound sight by making love.
He's giving her toxic shock syndrome.
That went on.
He is just nailing.
That went on for quite a while.
Digging holes.
Yeah.
Lots of fireworks.
Again, this was the same lovemaking scene from part 2.
Yep.
But this one had like more dialogue.
Yes.
And fireworks.
And fireworks. And bubbles.
Yeah, and bubbles in the room. Yeah.
Bubbles.
It's like freaky. You emit bubbles at some point.
Your imagination.
And he rigged his trailer to have fireworks whenever he climaxes.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, because
maybe that's just his climax.
Maybe that.
I mean, he is talking.
And Claire's just
like a metaphor.
She's a regular human.
Yeah.
She's surviving. Well, okay, she's not a regular human.
Toxic shock.
Maybe she has magic powers too.
Magic accordion crotch powers.
Yeah.
Her vagina is lead lined.
So then they play the accordion and then burn all her canes.
Yeah. Don't you think that they would just give those to like some of her blind friends?
Yeah, there's other blind. Yeah, they don't go bad.
While she's playing the accordion, she still had a cane draped from her arm.
Yeah.
It was.
She had a real Judy Tenuta vibe to that. If you remember that comedian.
God.
From the way that she acted as an actress,
Mm-hmm.
you could not tell if she was blind or not.
No.
Or sighted.
She might not have known.
Yeah, I don't think it was clear to her.
Her eyes darted around the same way, whether she was supposed to be blind or
because you can almost guess that Kaufman just at the time, so they're filming both of these together. Probably each scene he's like, blind.
Not
So
one.
the sight.
I bet she wasn't sure,
Right. Yeah.
Like one way or the other, oftentimes, and it's like no fault of hers. Like,
Yeah, he was
blind.
probably filming one scene and then it kind of went somewhere else and he just didn't cut and then
or just not giving her feedback. You know,
Right,
her
not
being
at all,
like,
yeah.
am I blind?
'Cause he's
am I
okay.
blind?
We have 10 minutes. Go.
Am I blind?
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
But
Play the accordion.
am I blind though?
he went to Japan thinking people could read his lines and it didn't stop him.
Oh, this movie's so crazy, man. All these accordion
So, yeah.
music scenes are so weird.
So weird. And there's so many weird scenes that don't advance.
And
any
I
story
forgot
in
to
any
mention,
way.
Toxic Avenger is dancing in the background
Yes,
of all
he
of
is.
them.
Oh, and
dances.
he has a cone on?
Yeah, he
Oh,
wears
yeah,
a
he
cone on
wears
his
the
head at one
cone.
point. But yeah, he
Yeah,
like
that was-
dances in the doorway,
that was a
and he
really
like
good
dances
scene.
like I
Yeah, they're
dance when I get
sitting
real
together.
hammered.
Right.
Just like waving my hands around and shit. You know,
into
it's
it.
real
They just
weird,
stopped to
man.
play the accordion and dance. They just stopped the movie for it.
It's a beautiful thing, you know.
And is this around when we have yet another installment in our awesome list of books that you oversee? Because Art of the Deal shows up right around this time.
Yeah, well,
Nice.
but I think Art of the
Trump's
Deal shows
face.
up. Doesn't it show up in his apartment? Like he's reading.
Oh, perhaps.
Oh, yes.
It wasn't actually in the mud.
Oh no, you're right. Because when he becomes a yuppie,
he becomes We'll get to that point.
And they mention Trump,
and Trump gets mentioned again, which is really interesting.
It's just cool this list because it's like Reagan, Nixon, L. Ron Hubbard, Trump. Yeah.
Holy shit!
No,
man.
Trauma has a point of view, and they are putting it forward.
Well, and I mean Jersey too. I mean, being right there, Donald Trump is probably one of the most famous people around that time too.
Sure,
and he used to make fun of Jersey. He used to be on the Howard Stern show all the time. He was basically like Baba Booey, like he was a reoccurring character.
Hey, careful! I don't want to see Baba Booey 2024.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, but moving on. Let's see.
Okay, yes. So
they just had sex, mad sex.
Yeah, okay, they burned the cane. So Melvin cuts the ribbon at the toxic waste site.
He did look kind of cool in the black business suit.
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, for
that one was probably
he looked sharp.
Well, that one was probably tailored.
Size.
I bet the first one was off the rack.
Yeah.
And in fact, and he doesn't have time for Claire's breakfast.
I don't have time for that.
Toxie's become a yuppie. Claire, now with her sight, sees what has transpired and confronts Melvin, but Melvin won't listen. He storms off.
All right, he's reading a newspaper, right? And there's nothing remarkable about the newspaper except one whole page says, "Everybody's going to the hockey retrospective."
Retrospective.
That was probably a real newspaper that they had him looking at. It's just like, everyone is going? What does that mean, retrospective?
How do you do that with hockey?
And that was a news.
Do you guys remember hockey? Let's think about that for a while.
And that was a headline in a paper in either New York or New Jersey. Everybody's going. New York's going to be closed that day.
Snow anymore? It just never gets cold.
A retrospective. The first guy that hit something with a stick on ice.
Oh, while walking, Melvin sees a group of kids knocking down a.
Hang on a sec. Two things I wanted to mention real quick. The puke breaks at the Agent Orange plant.
Oh, yes. They force people to puke.
Force people. It's like, I don't want to see anybody come back without puke stains on their shirt.
Oh. I might have missed that.
It was weird. And that was right.
Why?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. I'll stop.
Soon.
All right. No.
It was part of, I think it was.
Why, Daddy?
I think it was part of what Claire was seeing about
right.
the evil effects on the town.
Gotcha.
And then they have the half frog, half duck, which the Melvin's voiceover, he says, "What does one feed a creature that is half frog and half duck? Worse yet, what would you call it?"
And
a fruck, obviously.
A fruck.
And
or a fuck.
That's a fuck.
You feed it fly crumbs. Fruck facts.
Frucks.
Frucks.
Man.
One more for good luck.
Yeah, just in case.
Okay, so he sees a group.
Oh, but I'm sorry, and there may be a point coming up that's more appropriate because I know that she is featured, but we finally saw what Dog Boy, remember last time in our last episode, we were like, wow, they didn't give that anything to do. Like, that's a lot of trouble. Yeah, Dog Boy's really featured, and so is Donkey Woman.
Donkey Woman, Dog Boy.
There's a Donkey Man also.
A man and woman?
There's a number of half animal, half people, yes.
Yeah, they get disturbing.
Yeah, they really do. So, yes, Melvin sees a group of kids.
The poster,
knocking down a poster of him and kicking it. It causes Melvin to finally realize what has happened. He goes to the junkyard to think.
And this is when he says the kids are just talking to the poster, I guess, together. Yeah. They're just saying, "Phooey on you, toxic traitor. Boo, toxic bad guy. Pick on Donald Trump. Why don't you go after Exxon?"
Wow. Why don't you go after Exxon?
Yeah. Those kids, man.
But I mean, the pick on Donald Trump is probably more intense. But at the time, why don't you pick on Exxon?
Well, the Exxon Valdez.
Exxon Valdez oil spill, March of 1989 of this year.
Exxon facts.
Yeah, well, there were ducks involved, so.
And
you had to clean them. Yeah.
And Trump was in the zeitgeist, but like I said, as a corny kind of character, he was sort of a cartoonish evil businessman.
Yeah, cut out of what you would. Yeah,
right, Mr. Burns.
Well, his father was
he
too.
failed often. He failed often.
Yeah,
his father was the same thing.
Yes,
there are songs about his dad. You know.
Yeah, Woody Guthrie wrote them.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was a legit slumlord.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Trump got too bored to run any particular business,
which is part of why he was
Trump
so famous.
Trump got too full of himself to run any.
He got that TV show.
Business. Yeah.
If he had only gotten an Emmy.
And of course, the Trump Exxon connection with Rex Tillerson.
Oh, wow! Yeah,
yes.
Yeah,
that's right.
He became the CEO of Exxon in 2006. But in 2017 became the Secretary of State.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So just this movie is like, I don't know, calling all these
things out. Yeah. Way ahead of time.
Super woke. Hey everyone, Thoreau from Harmless Phosphorescence here with a message for you. Yes, you listening to me talk. Did you know that the Harmless Entertainment Network has a Patreon? That's right, you can join in and get extra fun like a Star Wars Harmless Phosphorescence miniseries, a patron-only Q&A roundtable episode. We have great bonus episodes of audio dramas like Attention Hellmart Shoppers in 1994. But not only that, if we reach our next patron goal, we'll do a monthly bonus Harmless Phosphorescence about a patron-chosen non-superhero movie. Plus, there are great new shows on the way, and if you're a patron, you'll get to hear them first. Head over to patreon.com/harmless entertainment today, and for the price of a cup of coffee, you too can join our super awesome superhero club. Now, back to the show. Melvin at the junkyard.
Is this where he starts recapping the movie we're in?
Yeah.
I think so.
Well, yeah, yes, he does, along with like some crazy painted dancing lady. Right. And
this is where the movie really starts to spin its tires.
Right?
I feel
like it's like a 15-minute sequence of just flashing lights and him talking about what's happened.
Yeah,
what's already happened.
She was billed as Snake Lady because she had a snake painted on her
All
body.
right. All right.
Yeah. No argument here.
I guess.
And this is where Donkey Woman rears her ugly head.
Oh, man. Yeah. She's freaky.
So, yeah, he realizes that Apocalypse Inc. is evil, realizes that he promised to worship the chairman, and realizes that the priest guy told him, the church guy, Mr. Churchy, told him to that Satan would tell you to do that.
Right.
Right, because he brings up, I think it's the Book of Mark. But anyways, where Jesus is in the desert, like the movie The Last Temptation of Christ. Yeah. And he talks about being tempted, and he cries out. And then he just, even the pastor just stops, doesn't say the rest of the story.
And that's our lesson.
Yeah.
That's it. He just stops right there.
You will be tempted. Well, what happens when I'm tempted?
You know.
We're watching the movie. It's happening right now.
But he thought he was getting advice.
In his
stopped.
In his hallucination dream thing here, there are several more shots of like close-ups of Claire's spread eagle crotch.
Yes, that's
just
right.
flying around the screen.
I'm gonna get us a poster of that to put like right up here.
That's the temptation. No, he already gave into that.
Yeah, the crotch. No, it's very pro-sex, this movie. It's just...
Of course.
And then he immediately goes home, and Claire's asleep, legs spread eagle again.
Yeah.
It was just threw out. I think this might be the last
I don't think she was even directed to do that.
No.
I think that's a choice the actress made.
Maybe she just sleeps that way. She's like, pretend you're asleep.
Maybe she has eye surgery that way. Maybe she...
Yeah. Oh.
So Toxie returns home and tells Claire that he's decided to once again clean up Tromaville. We then get a montage in which he earns the trust of the people of Tromaville back once again.
That's the end of the flashback. After he says he's going to fight them the old-fashioned way, the flashback ends and we're back in the video store.
Mm-hmm. No. He does some good stuff and then we flash back and he says...
Okay. Either way.
What's the old-fashioned way? Like horse-drawn carriage or lamp oil?
With his mop, I don't know. He grabs his mop at this point.
He's like, because I've been using shrewd stock advice.
No, because like he starts doing stuff and that leads directly into the flashback where one of the good things he does is rush into the video store to save the people.
That's when we realized it was like Tarantino.
And then he's like, and now here we are.
Right, picking up.
At any rate, the flashback ends at 1 hour, 1 minute, and 30 seconds.
Jesus Christ.
So, yeah, it was mostly flashback.
There should have been a Ron Howard voiceover at that point, just like, and this is where the movie starts.
But it's not a flashback in that case. That's why I keep, saying Tarantinoing.
Yeah, it's very just time bending.
Yeah, nobody's flashing back. You're just, that's where you picked up.
It's film. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it did have the fogging effect of when you have a flashback where the screen gets
when you have a flashback. I know what you mean. Yeah, okay. But it's like if anyone had a flashback or remembered something, just smoke came up. Oh shit!
Everything's just looking wavy.
I'm remembering something.
Like the first 40 minutes are of him being evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's all, this
Or the
is
first
what I
hour
did.
is him being evil.
I messed up. But here I am.
Then now he's back
Join
as
me.
the newly reformed, hideously deformed superhero.
Superhumans.
And
What was the...
and he rescues a dog from a tree.
So was it...
That's kind of funny.
Lima beans. Yeah, he does all kinds of weird.
Right, that's right. The kids... So wait, was his change of heart Claire?
No.
Or...
Well,
I think it was the kids, wasn't it?
Claire
was the kid?
Claire sparked it. She made him start thinking, and then he started noticing what was going around. Then he had a 20-minute flash sequence of being upset about stuff.
He accidentally ate something that had gone bad.
And then he realized that he had promised to worship the chairman
rather than work for them.
rather than work for.
Chairman hasn't transformed yet.
No. Chairman is still looking human. And so in the second movie, he like beats like the chairman, and the chairman has to like hitchhike out
of town.
Yeah, he shows no inclination to have any sort of supernatural powers in any way.
Well, he lost that fiddle battle, so he had to leave Georgia.
Okay, so back
they mention here, or Melvin does. I would mop up the evil in Tromaville and make room for Toxic Avenger Part 4.
Yes,
Not until the year 2000.
Yeah. There's a big
solid
cleanup.
10 years. Back in the present, Toxie goes to the AI Tromaville headquarters where he faces off against the chairman, who finally reveals his true identity. The chairman is actually Satan.
Surprise!
This is fucking awesome. This shit is so awesome.
Another great transformation.
This looks better than like Alien to me. Like the way he just crawls out of the fucking guy. I was just
God, that was so intense.
I was like, now this.
And then the other actor, the real chairman, he was also half buried because his head could move.
Yeah, and they actually had the real guy. There was no like prosthetic head or anything like that. It was just like, this is
they dug a big
heavy
hole.
metal, man. Yeah, there's a big ass hole, and these guys are sitting.
Yeah, and they're digging out of it with like a bunch of like butcher shop parts strewn all over them.
Oh, so gross. And it went on too long, but
So long.
What a ridiculous and humiliating way for the devil to transform into himself.
I would agree.
To throw himself to the ground and start having seizures.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
Crawl out of his skin suit.
Because he's pretty vulnerable during that time. Like if someone knew better, they could just run up with an axe and lop the head off and be like,
that devil suit though.
Yeah.
That
that
Satan
was
suit.
The rubber
That, like
mask.
Dave Grohl from the freaking Tenacious
Pick of
D,
Destiny.
Pick of Destiny suit.
But like where you could like see where like it would kept coming off from his eyes, so you could see.
Well,
his
and at
hand
one
underneath.
point they melt that shit.
and you can tell they're done with the suit.
Yeah.
It's the last they're going to do, and they really light it on fire.
Yeah.
And they keep cutting back and forth between the melted suit and like shots of the suit not melted, which is amazing to me too.
Or the
It's like,
guy, I'm sure obviously it's ADR, but yeah, it's melting and he's still talking.
right?
Ooh, there was a lot of just slime oozing over his face.
just like lube. Lube on
it
him.
looked like lube.
just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
It was probably KY jelly.
which was similar to
Really weird.
Alien, where they used a lot of like lube, but this was poorly used.
It was thicker than oil. It was thicker
just
than corn
hanging off
syrup.
him in
Well, and there was
globs.
no continuity as to where it was on his face at any time. It was like it would move around his face, and you're like,
would
"Oh,
fall
ooh,
out of
gross."
his mouth.
And yeah, and it's one thing for it to be like, "Ugh, gross," it's coming out of his mouth, but then you're like, "How did it get up on his like cheek. Did he like take rub
and
his
then
face?
It was like
with
rubbing off
hand?
his horns.
Yeah. Like he was just like excreting
He should carry around a
lube.
a bandana.
Okay,
or
so
something.
serious question, you guys.
Wipe his brow.
Theological question for those of you. I don't know. Does the devil excrete lube from his face? Is that a thing?
What does the Bible say?
I don't know. Mark.
Mark my words.
I have no idea. Wow.
Yeah, probably. Well, yeah, I'm sure that he's always oozing stuff, pustules, and
Gross.
But a clear,
Pustules.
viscous fluid that you could.
He just has a cold.
I don't think this is authentic Old Testament viscous ooze.
The devil was green. That was an interesting twist.
Yeah.
Yeah, green was weird.
more like a lizard guy.
horns and weird hair.
Black horns. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
100 of them.
I feel like their
Those
design.
wings on their sticks, just flopping around.
Shiny ass wings. Yeah.
He kind of looked like the devil from what was the movie Legend?
Yeah.
Was it Legend?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I've seen that.
that was.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Yeah.
Tom Cruise was in Legend, but the
Yeah.
devil was played by
Tim Curry.
Tim
Yeah,
Curry.
Tim
Oh
Curry.
yeah,
I kept wanting to say Tim Roth. I was like, it's not Tim Roth.
all short and little. Yeah. Anyways,
I almost said Tim Burton.
I almost said Eartha Kitt, so I don't know.
Oh. Ooh.
I almost
that was
said
the first-
Kit from Knight Rider.
Want to be evil.
So, the chairman reveals he's Satan. Melvin tries to fight him to little effect, and the devil challenges Melvin to a battle based on his favorite video game, The 5 Levels of Doom.
Oh yeah, the
video game
element,
set
yeah.
up earlier. Yeah.
So,
And Claire could play the video game
yeah
by
somehow.
hearing.
yes. It would-
Yeah,
He says that.
Ever since I was a young boy, I played the silver ball.
This is just a retelling of Tommy.
Yeah.
Kinda. Ew.
So the devil says that the 5 levels of doom are earth, wind, fire, water, and the last one.
Which,
A mystery.
Viscous ooze.
well, no, he says, which no one ever gets to.
No
Yeah,
one gets to that
which is
level.
great. That is such a fucking hilarious joke. That actually made me laugh. I was like, "Duh, this fucking asshole."
Well, and what's so fun, because we really liked it in part 2, they could have had that like henchman fight before
Yeah.
the final one, as if he was beating the little bosses before he got to the big boss.
Yeah.
He just fights the devil instead.
Right, just
Yeah.
goes right for it.
Yeah.
Well, and the fifth category
Baking.
is, of course, underwater basket weaving.
Exactly.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Olympic-
mine. though.
Olympic-
Yeah, it's great. It's mine.
It's Iron Chef.
Right. I
The
thought-
secret ingredient.
It was a very
Olympic
cool
tetherball.
kind of like kung fu approach to that, though, being like in mind, the most mysterious of all the elements. It's like, oh yeah, that's pretty clever. You know, that's cool for the devil.
But I have
stupid.
But what did
still,
that
was
really
cool.
have to do with mom? Oh, we'll get to
Yeah,
that. Anyways,
anyways.
okay, the first level.
We're there.
Earth Melvin gets sucked into the ground.
Yep.
However, when he's able to get his head out of the ground, Malfair offers an apocalypse thug money to decapitate Melvin with a lawnmower.
She calls him Lawnmower Face.
Lawnmower face.
That's got to be
Lawnmower
that's a painful name to earn.
Then this is where she makes the joke about the budget.
Yeah.
She goes
Yeah.
like, I'd offer you more, but our budget's
says-
only $2 million.
She says, $1,000. I'll give you $1,000. Wait a minute. The budget's $2 million. $30. I'll give you $30 to run that guy over.
And he's just like, he just does it.
For so long. That lawnmower's coming at his head
Way
for so
long.
so long.
I know.
That's what I'm saying. This movie was
Oh,
longer
but the way it ends
I love the
is
Point
great,
Break
though.
lawnmower
Because
scene.
he catches it.
He catches it in his
teeth.
mouth, teeth, and then spits it at
At another henchman.
Lawnmower
Yeah.
face? Oh, no.
No,
different
a
one.
hen-
Yeah, at another
Regular
guy.
face?
who then spits out a bunch of like chiclet teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's classic.
Yeah, that scene was just way too long. The lawnmower advancing, Mom and Claire screaming,
and screaming
for a
and
long time.
screaming.
Toxie growling, the evils laughing. Just it took so long.
Yeah. In the second level, fire has both Melvin and the devil set on fire. Melvin is saved by some Tromaville residents who douse him with water. And when the like, that's it.
I'm not saying I could
Well-
do it, but that's the trial.
Yeah.
You're lit on fire. Somebody puts you out.
Well, okay. And then
Didn't Melvin light the devil on fire?
No.
No.
The devil lit himself on
so
fire.
here's the question: what if he had just left the
his own
devil on
hubris.
fire?
Oh, he was going to destroy the town by walking around town on fire.
Walking through the men's section of JCPenney and just catching everything on fire.
Be like, yeah.
And so
Clearance.
Then I'm going to a paper goods store.
Yeah, exactly. Hallmark.
Firewood. Here I come.
Oh no, the firewood store.
And this is where the devil's mask is clearly just melting off his
That's what I mean.
face.
Yeah, last day with the costume.
Yeah. So Melvin puts the flames out by peeing on the devil.
Yep.
He's got a fire hose stream of
It's powerful.
The devil, though,
Yeah, he might need his
is
prostate
hilarious in this moment. Because
Yeah.
now I'm pissed.
That's right.
Like, gross, bro. That's toxic pee. You should be making jokes. You just got peed on.
You got peed on.
Yeah.
Owned.
So the third level, wind. Devil
Yeah, the most
Polite-
annoying of all the levels.
politely ushers children into a bus.
come on, kids.
Oh, yeah.
In
Why are
single file.
Okay. Yeah.
Why are they agreeing to get on the bus? How?
He's the devil. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. And they're in the line. He says the children will go with him. But in the line of children, then there's one adult woman who also gets on the bus. And then later when he's taking people off the bus, there's a second adult woman.
There's a lot of adults.
Okay.
It was. I'm not going to say there weren't any kids, but it was enough that we both mentioned it. Like, yeah, when they're getting off, all of a sudden, much more older people, taller
Yep.
people. Yeah.
They didn't want those kids to spend too much time with the devil.
Or they forgot who was on the bus.
Right.
You know, like, we only have the kids till 4 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We can't take these kids down to the quarry to film.
Right,
So
we
film
can't
them
drive them
getting
around.
on the bus.
Right.
And then the 7 kids that are the children of the camera operator will come with us.
Either that or they made the stops along the way, all the stops, and picked people up on the bus.
Because they didn't actually get a bus. It was just.
They just stole a bus.
Yeah, they're like, you can use this if you don't interrupt.
One of the they promised the bus driver could be an extra, so he let them film.
That was Donkey Woman.
So so they drive, and then the bus goes up a cliff.
Yeah, Melvin chases on foot. And then there are some folks who are just throwing a potluck in the middle of the road at the base of this cliff.
Yes.
But I like the one guy. He's holding a pie. He's like,
This is the most nonsensical film I have
what is-
ever seen.
What does he say? This
says,
is a great.
"This is good pie."
He was just a wholesome pie-eating guy, you know?
Even in real life, you should know if you stop to praise the food you're going to eat, you're going to drop that food.
Yeah, or a bird's going to shit on it or
That
something.
is a great pie. Whoa.
And then you just hear some lady's voice with the rabbis like, "That's pork, Rabbi."
That's right.
Oh yeah, the rabbis who were previously
Running the.
the rabbis who were just a moment before
Back at City Hall.
back at City Hall watching the fight between the
Yeah.
devil are now there having their picnic
Oh,
just
and
needed to relax.
they
afterwards.
didn't use a
within 30 seconds.
They didn't use a working bus because they use this. They blow this bus up and ride it off the cliff.
Well, okay,
right?
so the bus flies up to the top, and then Melvin jump flies up to the top, and what is
tumbles backwards.
He
up
falls
the hill.
up the cliff.
he falls up.
Right. Reverse the.
What is clearly a floppy dummy.
You know, he read the art of the deal
Regaining its
clearly.
balance.
Just tumble up. You know?
Yeah, the art of the deal. Trickery.
And all he does when he gets up there is open up the back door
Yeah.
Yeah.
so that the kids can
So
get
all the
off.
adults, the kids that have
The
transformed to
kids.
adults.
Yeah. So
Because he gets up there and he says he tries to lift it, but then he observes, "I'm not Superman."
Yeah, he does say that.
So he gets the kids off the bus, and then Malfair, in an attempt to shoot down Melvin and the kids, is crushed by the bus when it falls off the cliff.
And by the way, all the observers from the previous scene, including Mom and Claire, they're all here now. Like,
Yeah.
the bus drove at a bus's pace, and Toxie ran after the bus, and then
they all arrive.
They're all all just there.
There was a second fun bus that took everybody.
It's a party bus.
Yeah. Don't miss a minute.
But the devil instructs Malfair to start shooting.
Yes.
So she goes to the base of the cliff with her shotgun and shoots basically straight up while Toxie's at the back of the bus.
It's basic geometry, folks.
Yeah.
She's not going to be able to hit anything up there.
I guess she's just trying to like shoot over the bus, and then so the bullets come back down onto Toxie. You know, it's just like, you know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. She doesn't have a clear shot.
That's very
well. That completely ruins my immersion in the film now.
Aspirational. She was
sorry.
Not you too, Malfair.
Yeah, and Malfair is gone. Pour one out for Malfair.
Yep. Pour two out. She was cool.
Yeah, she was kind of cool.
Died the way she lived.
Dude, we had a female villain for once. That was like a good female villain that
was fun.
comic booky.
She came up with the whole Japanese plan.
Yeah, we'll send him to Japan.
She didn't mention Claire's melon heavy breasts this time.
Yeah, she clearly she got over.
That actress was like, we never paid that off.
2 large pendulous breasts, about 5 pounds each.
Yeah. Oh, whenever he's trying to play straight, the captain. Yeah, it's always his confusion about breasts and what it is we like about them.
They're always so heavy.
Yeah, he's like, they're heavy and pendulous and sweaty. And
he always mentions how much they weigh, around 5 pounds.
Yeah,
wow.
Character's fantastic.
So Malfair's death, we see her legs.
Who's Malfair?
Draco Malfair.
Draco.
We see her legs curl up. Wizard of Oz
Wizard of Oz
style.
yeah.
But then we hear her say, I'm melting.
Yeah, that is funny.
The reverse blow-up doll effect.
Yeah, but they combined the deaths of
the 2 witches.
Both of the witches.
Yeah.
And then somebody, it wasn't a song, but somebody said, ding dong, the bitch is dead. Like that was said off.
It was
that Melvin?
Yeah.
Maybe, no,
I thought that was
it was a random.
I think it was, just a townsperson. Then, okay, in the 4th level, water. The devil gets on the bus.
Which he fixes.
Yeah, he reassembles the bus. Yeah. And then Melvin jumps on the hood while the devil drives into a big mud puddle.
The devil drives.
Yeah.
So what if Melvin had not jumped on the hood? What was the devil going to do?
He's going to use the wind.
To spray water in his eye.
Yep. Here's mud in your eye, pal.
Earth, wind, and fire.
So he drives the bus to Bob Tall's famous Fantasy Acre Mud Bog, which is a real place in Montrose, New York.
It is.
It is. Yeah.
Wow.
Bob Tall's famous Fantasy Acre Mud Bog.
He's fucking with us.
Al.
He's trying to make me believe something.
No. I'm not. This is serious.
Sure? It's really in Montrose, New York?
Yes, it really is in Montrose, New York, which is where they were filming, right?
Road trip.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
They weren't filming in New Jersey.
No, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, the New York Film Commissioner has no power in New Jersey.
No power, exactly. It has its own wizard.
So they, the mud bog is
they call it Voldemort in Jersey. Anyways, sorry, wizard.
They would take like trucks out to jump in
to mud bog.
To mud bog.
Yeah, that's a verb.
So this bus just jumps this small ramp into the mud bog and just explodes in the water.
Well, you have to remember Satan was driving it.
Yes, that is true.
Chemicals.
But then Claire does some weird ululating thing, just
right.
Thing. It was weird.
She gets really twitchy.
It's like she's having a seizure. Or something.
But then Toxie does a flip out of the water onto the hood of the bus, which is now magically not exploded.
Right.
Lots of really good film tricks in this movie.
And
roll it backwards. I don't know.
And his quote is, "It's an old sumo trick. They use it whenever they're on a runaway school bus that plunges into a deadly pool of muddy, murky water."
Yeah. Those sumos.
So then
it's a versatile skill.
The devil unleashes the final level.
Because now we're just back at City Hall again.
Yeah. We're just there.
Yeah.
In which he transforms the Toxic Avenger back into little Melvin, who once again becomes the victim of bullying, now by Apocalypse Inc.
Those stupid fake teeth.
Oh, those are
Big old chiclets.
Yeah. When Claire attempts to intervene with a shotgun, she is once again rendered blind. While Melvin is getting picked on, Claire runs home and finds the contract, which he signed.
After shooting her shotgun blind.
Yes.
Like 5 or 6 times while spinning in a circle.
And we had mentioned Brenton Woods. Give me a little sign. Yeah. Was that around?
Yeah.
It was in twice. There were. I heard. Wasn't the Brenton Woods version used originally, and then they did, like he was listening to it, and then later on they did the.
Really?
They had it. I'd swear.
I didn't see the Brenton Wood in the credits though. I was looking for.
Maybe it was.
Well, and so did nobody else notice "Down on Me" by Janis Joplin, the holding company?
No,
I think it did. Yeah,
or Big Brother in the holding.
Yeah,
that was during the lawnmower scene.
Okay, down on me. Yeah, all right. They got some money.
They spent some of their budget on those for sure. So meanwhile, the people at Tromaville refuse to pick on Melvin, telling the devil that he's always played straight with them. Claire arrives back, having found the contract, telling them that she managed to find an escape clause that will allow termination.
Yay, there's an escape clause.
They all start just yelling escape clauses.
All these law savvy.
You're like, none of you people know how a contract works.
right.
Yeah.
Satan and Apocalypse Inc. mock Melvin, saying God isn't around, when an angel disguised as a messenger arrives and gives Melvin a scroll. Light flashes in the sky, and most of the Apocalypse Inc. goons run away. It begins.
And it begins raining.
Yeah, it begins to rain. Oh, we didn't talk about like how disturbing the Toxic Avenger bursting into and falling apart into pieces and turning into Melvin was.
Yeah, he
that was
crumbled
gross.
into just like a skeleton.
He erupts in boils, and then the dissolving flesh thing
melts away.
melts away from his skeleton, and then he reconstitutes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It was that
Swamp
was
Thing
the
style.
where he went back into man shape.
Yeah.
Was kind of of an interesting effect that I was like, huh.
That's creepy.
Kind of Raiders like melting
Yeah.
faces.
And all that Industrial Light and Manwich is probably the
Industrial Light and Manwich.
That's the company for their effects.
And then when he becomes Little Melvin again, he kind of stomps around. His first lines is Little Melvin. He's something. It's like, Julie, I don't smell nothing.
Julie.
That was bad. Okay, so it begins to rain, and Melvin is transformed back into the Toxic Avenger, and Claire is able to once again see. Having had enough, Melvin.
The rabbi crosses his chest.
Yeah, just the sign of the cross. That's right.
He said, "Oh, you go."
Oh, because he was converted. You know, he saw this very Catholic showdown of good and evil. Devil.
Having had enough, Melvin defeats the devil, the demon, the devil. You know, where he flings him around and
tosses him around like a rag doll.
And throws him right on the ground, though. Wham, bam. Like,
rips his skin off to expose rats and bugs all over his carcass.
Oh, yeah, that
Snakes.
was cool and
And the
gross.
snakes, yeah.
All those garter snakes.
And there's shot after shot of him buried up to his neck with the rats and the snakes.
There was a
and
rat on his face at one point.
Crickets and mealworms, and he's going.
Yeah, and it's from different angles, so they didn't just cut up one long shot. They're like, all right, no, hold on, new setup. No, just hold on, it's cool.
We got you on the schedule for 45 minutes of this.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, we put you through 4 hours of hair and makeup. Now you got to sit in a hole.
Those rats are
covered with rats and
non-union,
bugs.
so we don't have to.
I don't think anybody in this movie
don't
was
let him
union.
bite you.
No, I don't think so.
Don't let him bite you. So yeah, he decapitates the devil and throws his head all the way to Tokyo,
Fucking
All right.
best
where the
scene of
news
movie.
reporter
Yeah.
in the previous film.
The announcer.
The funny guys from the last film.
Yeah, the best part of the movie.
Yes, it was when the first time I watched this. I'm watching by myself with my cats. I audibly cheered to see the announcer again.
Yeah.
Like, I love this guy.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah, he's the
I
best
remember
part of the
liking
last
it.
movie.
I don't know
Yeah.
if I made, but I was like,
So
those
yeah,
guys.
And he's spraying something on the bald guy's head, and then looks away for a second, and the devil's head lands on the bald guy.
Right. That's
head.
right.
And he looks back. He's like, oh, and then starts spraying more. With
I have to assume it was hair growth.
Yeah.
spray.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's funny.
While the customer screams in shock. And back in Tromaville, having defeated Apocalypse Inc. once and for all, Melvin and Claire celebrate by getting married. They're declared monster and wife.
He corrects
Somebody's
the
getting married.
the priest, he says, I now pronounce you man, monster, and wife. Claire does a lot of inappropriate stuff with her tongue at the wedding when they're walking back down the aisle.
The last shot is great. As just
God,
such a
yeah,
funny,
where-
like sensual, like her like tonguing her teeth.
Yeah.
That was that was such like a 90s like rock and roll music video kind of shot.
Oh,
of her.
totally.
Right, I just thought that was great. I was like
Painted lips. Yeah.
because it was way over the top and way sexual. But I mean, this whole movie was really sexual. But that was the first time where I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, you're hot. Yeah,
There weren't really any boobs.
Yeah, there was no. There
were no boobs. were there?
But you're right. It was
the
more
boobs
sexual.
were covered by
Actually
hair.
had a sex scene.
Yeah.
The snake lady.
Was she?
Oh, that's
yeah.
true.
I didn't
The
even.
the girl in the video
I didn't
store
even notice,
almost
honestly.
She's jumping up and down.
Oh yeah, they almost came
come
out. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the ratings had changed because the last one was pre.
I don't think it was right. I think all his tip footage he put in the second one. You know what I mean?
It's like if they ain't coming, if that didn't convince him to come for the third one, nothing
And we're
will.
not going
I'm
to get
sh-
anything
well-
from me in this one.
I'm sure every time he finished one, he thought that was probably the last one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He may have had ideas, but no guarantee those movies would be made.
So that's the Toxic Avenger 3.
The Last Temptation of Toxie. All right, so the moral of the story is
Parents just don't understand.
that's it.
Don't worship the
Especially
devil.
if your parents God.
I was hoping to see some new stuff in the credits. I was very disappointed that they reused a lot of the stuff that we went over last time. Best lay, Selma felt a thigh, golf grip, key gripe. They used those. What were you?
Did you notice people who weren't in the movie?
Yes. That was new, which was cool. So at first it said people who acted in this movie, and then right at the end, people who did not act in this movie: Robert De Niro, Meryl Streep,
Glenn Close.
Glenn Close, and Arsenio Hall.
They didn't.
They did not act in this movie.
Yeah, that's so funny. Because there's more people that didn't than did.
Well, but
that
just the
list.
three they choose, like De Niro, Glenn Close, okay, and Arsenio.
Arsenio Hall. Well,
It was 89. I mean,
It was big.
I have a pretty funny Arsenio Hall joke, though. Just recently, I watched that Eddie Murphy movie on Netflix. Dolomite is my name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Eddie had a lot to do with it being made and produced and put on Netflix, and it's a really good movie. And I noticed the same day that it was put up that Arsenio Hall had a stand-up special that was put on Netflix like within a day or two. So it's like Eddie Murphy, if he does anything, Arsenio Hall has to get something out of it.
Oh my God.
Like they buried a hooker together. I swear to God they did.
Oh, my God.
Arsenio's like
dark.
Arsenio's like, oh yeah, you got a thing with Netflix, huh? Let's not forget, Eddie. Let's not forget we did.
Coming
I
to
don't know.
America too, Eddie. Coming
Yeah.
to America too.
It's happening. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. They can't do things apart.
wow. Yep.
Anyways, Arsenio Hall. Yeah, he was not in this movie.
No, he was
Or
not.
was he? A lot more of Michael Jai White,
Oh, yeah.
like being expressive and stuff.
Yeah.
Just so often the goons were laughing with each other.
The goons. So, we're going to rank this thing. Bum, ba-da-bum.
I don't know anymore.
So we have 16 movies in our rank. This will be number 17.
It was definitely below part 2.
Okay.
Definitely.
So below part 2, we have The Punisher.
Which is our worst? Is it still Superman 4?
Yeah. It goes from bottom, Superman 4, Toxic Avenger 1, The Punisher, Toxic Avenger 2.
Is this? Oh,
So what about Superman 4 and then this?
So putting this above Superman 4?
We didn't like the Toxic Avenger, but we had a lot more to say, and there was more to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't know. This was boring, and we didn't particularly like it.
No, I definitely think it's worse than the first movie.
Same.
Yeah. Do we think it's better than Superman 4 still?
Yes.
Yeah, Superman 4 was so bad. It was so bad.
It was so bad.
Because they were loved characters.
This movie,
make Toxie as stupid as you want. We don't love him like Superman.
This movie points really well at the Last Temptation of Christ in a lot of ways.
It does.
Validates its existence.
It doesn't
almost
quite tell you what Jesus did.
Yeah, but
after the temptation,
it's a funny joke. It's a funny bit. It's like, I mean, them tagging it on in the marketing too.
Right.
Last Temptation of Toxie. Like
that's why it's wild that on paper that and going to Japan.
Yeah,
was all, you know what
it was all in one.
We're
movie.
doing all this.
Yeah, there were a lot of fun parts in this movie. I think there were more not fun parts, but still, there were like watching it the first time I was like, oh my god, this is terrible. Watching it the second time, I felt a little better about it as a movie. It's like, oh yeah, that was cute. Like, oh, okay, yeah, that was funny.
There were bits.
Some of the bits that
better
paid
than
off,
the
paid
first.
off
You're
okay.
saying is that what this is?
No, because the first was more original.
Right. That's kind of.
There were small individual bits that were amusing.
There were still
Holy shit.
the things in this that went on way too long. All the crowd reactions over and over again, just having to stare at these people's faces while they're screaming or looking disappointed or scared or whatever. Just so much of that. This movie was longer than it needed to be.
This movie was a solid 20 to 30 minutes longer than it needed to
so
be.
much
We had
were recaps.
20 to 30 minutes of movie from previous films.
One recap was the movie we were watching.
Well, no, because I get the feeling like, okay, so he made the first movie and he had all this extra footage that he cut out. And then he was like, well, this isn't enough for a whole another movie, but what if I reuse a lot of footage?
Yeah, it's bad.
All right, so I don't.
So
where are we trying to?
So we're going to stick it right below, so we're putting it at
16.
Number 16 out of 17.
Okay.
It goes right above Superman 4, right below the original Toxic Avenger. I don't know if we're ever going to find a worse one than Superman 4.
Catwoman?
Like, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
That's
Daredevil?
Oh, right. Elektra.
Yeah,
they can get weird.
Okay, there's
Just
a
some
bunch
really
of 2000
bad,
stuff.
expensive movies.
There's a bunch of 2000 stuff that gets crazy. What
It's
do we
one
got?
thing to be bad.
X3 is not that bad. As bad
Wolverine Origins.
Ooh.
I think,
That's
we will
bad.
find
Yeah,
others.
we're
I think
gonna-
right now it's the point of like, that was Superman, so it was the most disappointing one.
That
so
movie's
far,
just that movie's classically bad. Like people know. Like that is a bad
Ooh,
movie.
one I've never
Even Chris
seen,
Reeves.
Son of the Mask.
Oh, I've never
I haven't seen that either.
Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it either.
Huh.
Ooh.
I must have seen Son of the
Oh, we've
Mask.
got several Fantastic Four movies coming up.
Yeah, those are bad.
The bad ones
Most
from the
of them.
90s.
Well, like they've made it like 3 times, right?
Well, there's
No, the one you're talking about, I don't think
no,
that was
that was
Roger
straight to
Corman.
film.
that was
Yeah.
never released
Oh, it was never released
at all.
Right.
Not on video, not in
Sad
theaters.
day.
It was
Come
never
on,
shown to
Disney.
anyone with their eyes open.
Right.
No, we've got the first Fantastic Four from 2005, and then Rise of the Silver Surfer in 2007, and then the one that just came out like 3 years ago.
All of them classics. Everybody remembers how
Oh,
great
yeah.
those films were.
Yep.
It's going to be a blast. You guys should join
the
us.
Spirit. The Spirit is
Every
supposed to be
Christmas we watch
terrible.
Fantastic
That's a free
Four.
on YouTube film, just to give you an idea of how good it is.
Oh, The
Free
Spirit?
with ads
Yeah.
on YouTube. Watch it there.
Ooh, boy.
You got 2 hours of your life that you don't want back.
And the Shadow and the Phantom.
Oh, the Phantom. That's right.
This is fun, you guys. Let's watch the worst movies ever.
Batman.
We're doing it.
Batman
Yeah.
and Robin.
Ooh.
It's just the nipples, man.
Oh, it's not just the nipples.
No,
how long has it been
there's
since
a
you've
lot.
seen that movie, Brian?
How old am I now? Yeah, it's been probably 27.
Oh,
I saw it when I was an
5 years.
adult.
yeah.
Oh.
I was an
What
adult
year did that
when
movie
it
come out?
97.
Oh, 97? No, I was 10. So,
Yeah,
right.
all the Batman
Yeah, about
movies.
22.
I was an
yeah.
adult. It's the only movie I've ever walked out of in the theater.
I think there were cool toys at McDonald's. I don't remember. We'll get
We
to that, though.
and we have a fun story from Batman Forever when we get there too. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot.
Yeah. So, all right. There we go. We are done with this episode.
Yeah,
Were we just killing time for the last 2 or 3 minutes here?
Yeah,
I
we were
think so,
recording
yeah.
for some reason. I thought we had wrapped it up.
No, we were just talking, man.
This podcast is going on way too long.
Oh, I know. Let's flash back to the beginning of this podcast and then
we'll do it all
just
again.
recap. Yeah. So anyways, that's how we recorded the Toxic Avenger 3. But now we've got some problems.
Next week. Oh, what are we going to do next week, guys?
What are we?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
The one and only Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That was fun, right? We
Heroes
liked
in
that
a
as a
half,
kid.
Heroes in a half shell,
Yeah.
turtle power.
Cowabunga, dude.
All right.
For sure.
Jim Henson.
And
Creature
we
Shop.
will be having our very first guest on.
Oh, yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
Michael Chico will be joining us here.
All right.
Yeah. So next week,
It's going to be
join
even
us.
hotter in this room.
It's gonna be. This room is extremely
So
hot.
and this movie's big for him, like personally.
Oh,
Yeah.
He is a turtle.
Awesome.
That's
awesome.
literal turtle.
He is a teenager and a turtle.
It's a fascinating phenomenon. We're gonna have a lot to
It
say.
is.
Also
I
a
think
ninja.
because, like we had mentioned before, with the Tick, like these franchises, they don't go away for any reason.
They
Yeah,
never
it's
do.
crazy.
No, and this was big in my life.
It's absolutely
seriously.
right down
Yeah.
to the comic. I remember when the comic came out.
I saw all these in the
Black
movie
and
theater.
white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eastman and
Ate
Laird.
a lot of pizza those days.
I was introduced.
Yeah.
I was introduced to them. I had a teacher in like 6th or 7th grade who had who had all the comics, the black and white comics, and I just read them in class.
Nice.
That's awesome.
The first thing I shoplifted was a collection of the Teenage Mutant Ninja.
Nice.
That's it. We got him, folks.
And the last time was just earlier today.
This
No,
is
I'm kidding.
community. This is community service.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
So, anyways, thank you all for listening again. This has been Fruck. That's half dog, half duck.
He's a fuck.
Thoreau Smiley. I am joined by.
I'm Josh Cece, and I know all the upwardly mobile lingo.
I'm Brian Lesh, and I never should have joined Apocalypse Incorporated.
I'm Alaric Weber, and this is Good Pie.
Thanks, everybody. Bye. Harmless Phosphorescence was brought to you by executive producer Atticus Burkett, producers Michael Beckwith, Jojo Birchtree, Hedda Paulson, Kirsten Reed and Alyssa Dent, and Katie and Finn Thorpe. Make sure to rate and review us on iTunes. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. Harmless Phosphorescence is a part of the Harmless Entertainment Network. Become a patron at patreon.com/harmlessentertainment. Thank you for listening.